The Pentagon is releasing and declassifying files on UFOs. This includes eyewitness testimony, photos, and reports of sightings of unexplained objects. So I want to bring in Seth Shostak, senior astronomer at the SETI Institute in Northern California. Seth, thank you so much for being with us. First, can you explain to us what the SETI Institute does?
Yeah, well, the SETI Institute, it does many things, many kinds of research. That's what it is, research organization, all connected to the idea of is there other life in the universe beside what we find here on planet Earth? And that includes, of course, things like plants and, other sort of stupid life. No affront to the plants, but still. And maybe more famously to looking for, intelligent alien life, which we've been doing for a long time.
And so what do you make of the Pentagon's release of these new materials today? Did you learn anything? Anything surprise you?
Well, to be honest, this kind of stories that are very analogous to what was released today, appear about every couple of months in the news because, somebody says something somewhere. I think you have to look at it this way. If really there was good evidence for aliens, cruising our skies, which is the implication of today's story, that would be something that would be noticed by, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. It would be noticed by astronomers. It would be noticed by, Joe Sixpack in his backyard. And that doesn't happen. These stories have been, circulating for at least a half a century, and we've not really learned anything from that.
Yeah, I gotta say, Seth, there's a lot of skeptics who are going to believe that these pictures are, frankly, of objects created by our foreign adversaries, namely Russia and China, who send these unique objects to our airspace to distract us and also potentially gather more information about our own surveillance capabilities. What do you make of that theory?
No, I think it's a good theory, and it's undoubtedly true. I mean, it's been proven to be the case in some, specific circumstances. It's also the case that there are something like 8,000 satellites orbiting the Earth. Most of them have cameras that are looking down, and some of those are military, reconnaissance satellites. So, they're looking down, and they're up there in the sky a couple of 100 miles above your head. They reflect a little sunlight now and then, so they look like bright objects sailing across the sky. So these things get reported. People get all upset about them, or at least excited about them, thinking that the aliens are about to land. But unfortunately, it's probably not the aliens. It's probably humans.
What do you think is the most compelling evidence thus far in your own research that there is extraterrestrial life beyond our planet?
Yeah, well, to be honest, there is no compelling evidence so far for extraterrestrial life. I mean, if that weren't the case, that would be a huge story. If we really had proof that there was some sort of life, even if it's stupid life, right, on some planet X light years away, whatever, that would be on the front page of every newspaper in the country, because that would be really interesting. That would tell you right away, hey, life is not a miracle. It's not just limited to Earth. Life is all over the place. So that would be a big story. But you haven't read that big story yet because we've never found that evidence. Personally, I think that life is probably, like fire hydrants or whatever, very, very common all over the place, but we still haven't found it.
So you don't think the government is hiding alien corpses somewhere? A lot of people believe. You don't believe that there's aliens walking among us, that there's spaceships orbiting our planet here. You don't believe any of that?
No, those would be huge stories if true. But the aliens probably wouldn't limit their visits just to the United States. They might also want to, visit other interesting countries like Bulgaria or whatever. I mean, you would think that if this were true, right, it would be a story worldwide, but it's not.
Seth Shostak, thank you so much. Always good to talk to you.
My pleasure.
Keeping it real. All right.